to another episode of the Forever podcast. If you've listened to the podcast before, you'll know I'm joined by a different guest on each episode. Today, I'm joined by one of our advisory board members at Forever. With over 20 years of experience, she really is one of the go-to people for in-depth and compliant product knowledge. It is, of course, Louise Riley. Louise, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me today. We've done a lot of videos together for Forever. It's the first podcast.
That's right.
Have you heard of a podcast before?
I have. I've actually watched podcasts and I've used them. So, yes, they're very, very useful. A great tool.
Great stuff. Well, today's episode is all about the Forever Aloe Vera gel and the ARGI Plus. But before we get into that, Louise, it'd be great if you could share your Forever story with us. So when and how?
Okay. Well, it's actually about 23 years ago now. I was at a crossroads in my life. I found myself as a single mum with triplets, 3.5-year-old triplets. And as you can imagine, it was quite daunting for me to find myself on my own and find a way that I could support myself, the children, and very importantly, find time to be a mum. So then I met Ashley, and I was introduced to the products, first of all, by Ashley. He'd started his Forever journey a year before I met him. His background's actually in property. So I started to use the products, and I just was amazed, really, how the benefits, how I started to feel. And that gave me the confidence then when Ashley suggested coming along to Longbridge Manor to come to a business lunch. And that was it. I kind of opened my eyes up to the business. And I could see, once again, the potential. It was going to tick all those boxes that I was looking for, that I could work for myself. I would have that control back, I suppose. And over the last 20-odd years, we're very proud to say that we've built a global business, and we have achieved everything on the marketing plan and still love working with our team here in the UK as well as globally. And I have been advisory board member. I've been training for the company since 1998, so that's 21 years now, because my background actually, I qualified in the hair and beauty industry, so actually started my training for the company was in the cosmetics, when we had the cosmetics and the skincare. So I then progressed on with my qualifications into nutrition, weight management, sports, and then that's where I am now as an advisory board member, as well as building my business.
Great stuff. So what kind of things are you up to day to day with Forever? I know you're on the advisory board. What does that entail? I know you do some trainings. You're always out and about with people. So what kind of stuff do you do nowadays?
When I'm doing advisory board trainings, I probably do on average 3 to 4 trainings in a month, and that could be from head office, it could be from our London office, it could be over in Ireland, it could actually even be in other countries. But then alongside that, because I do have a business as well, I also do trainings for our team. And I would say that I definitely touch my business every day in some way or another, but it's not work, it's just something I absolutely totally enjoy, and I get great pleasure taking what I've got in my head, the knowledge, and sharing it with people, whether it's on the products or the business.
So as I mentioned, today's episode focuses on our Aloe Vera gel and ARGI Plus. But before we start, I will point out that this information is correct under UK regulations. So if you're tuning in from a different country, some of this information may not be relevant to you. Right, legality's over. Let's kick things off with Forever's flagship product, the Aloe Vera gel. So Louise, for anyone who hasn't heard of our Aloe Vera gel, could you introduce that for us, please?
Okay, well, I think the most important thing that Forever is the aloe vera company, and we kind of say that 50% of worldwide sales is down to people drinking aloe vera. So you'll probably find that 50% of your personal retail sales will be from your gel drink, as we like to call them. So it makes total sense for you to drink aloe vera every day. And the most important thing about our aloe is the way that we have been able to maintain the aloe as nature intended and to deliver it with all its freshness and goodness. And that's the most important thing, how we need to get that aloe into our body.
So what I think is amazing about Forever and what makes us stand out as a company is that we own the whole process. So some of you may have seen in our marketing advertising the phrase plant to product to you. So we own all the manufacturing facilities, the research and development, quality control labs, and all the distribution channels. Louise, could you tell us a bit about the process then? So talk me through the aloe plant in the field to how we get the drinking gel in the bottle.
Okay, so let's just take our largest plantation, which is in the Dominican. If you take that, well, collectively, all our plantations, we have about 6,500 acres. And what we do is that the reason that we grow the aloe in the places that we do is to make sure that we're getting aloe vera has to be in the right environment. So we get the right in the Dominican, we have the right amount of sunshine and the rain that we need, and the soil and the minerals and everything. So we've got the right environment to start with. But we have the farmers that work for the company. They really enjoy being part of the company because we have the infrastructure there. We really care about our workers. That I think that's one of the most important things right from the beginning before we even get to the plant. The environment and the workers is great. From that, we then, all the plants, which are the babies, are called pups. They are actually selected by hand, and then they are planted by hand. So you can see that it's really, really labour intensive. Then all the way through, they are they are nurtured, they're cared for. We have goats and sheep that like to wander in and out of the plants, and they eat the weeds and they self-fertilize on the way, if you get what I mean. And then when it comes to taking the aloe, it's going to be harvested by hand. So everything is done by hand. We then take it into the area where it's all washed and it's checked over. It's then hand filleted and it's checked over again. And then we will produce aloe that is it's got to be kept so it is as locked in all its freshness. And how we do that is with an aseptic process. And the aseptic process really is where, imagine that it's like a bit of steam, a bit of heat to make sure that we are killing any pathogens that may be lurking. Now, to make sure that we have killed all the pathogens, we need to make sure there aren't any chunks of aloe where pathogens could be lurking in the middle. So what we do at the whole process is that it goes through what we call a grinding machine, and it goes through that twice. And that's the easiest way to describe it, like a food processor, where we whisk it a bit more to make sure it's smooth. So you haven't got chunky soup, you've got smooth soup. That's the easiest. So nothing's taken out at all. It's just made to be smooth. The heat is then put on for about 12 seconds, and the temperature is just right, so we are not destroying any nutritional content at all. So what we then produce is an aloe that is totally preservative free, which I think is really, really important. We're constantly doing tests all the way through. We do over 1 million tests all the time. We are checking at every level. We then move to our next facility, and this is all part of the process that Forever do everything. And then we add other ingredients. So we will make either the plain gel, and what we do just to keep that as we add a bit of a regulator. So the easiest way to describe that is if you imagine squeezing some lemon juice on a cut apple, and that's what we do with that. Vitamin C is added as a regulator, but also as an antioxidant, because vitamin C is powerful in its own right. And then we have our plain gel, which is 99.7% aloe vera, as we said, preservative free. That other 0.3% is just that little bit of lemon vitamin C that we've added.
So at the end of this process, we have our famous yellow Forever Aloe Vera Gel drinking carton, our 100% recyclable carton. Louise, what do we want people to do with it?
Well, we want people to drink drink the aloe for all the goodness in there. Often people will say, well, why would I drink aloe vera? Well, most people, they want to have great skin, hair and nails. They want a good, strong immune system, digestive system. They don't want to be tired. They want to have great joints. In fact, most people, they just want to be the best that they can be. And that's why people choose to have their shot of aloe every day, because aloe vera contains a whole cocktail of nutrients. There's over 75 known ingredients, and it's the nutrients in aloe vera that is going to support your body in the areas I've mentioned to be in balance. So that shot of goodness every day, if you were to look on the side of the carton, a serving size is 120 mils, but people do ask me, oh, do I have to stick to that? Just enjoy as much as you want. The more you get in you, the better it is. So yeah, if you want to drink 120, 240, We have our little baby aloes, which is 330. Just have one of those every day as your base. And if you think about it, it's a shot of aloe is less than a cup of coffee from a coffee shop every day. So it's just down to what you want to put in your body, and um, yeah, it's down to priorities, I suppose.
And our drinking gel is accessible to everyone, isn't it? So we have a few certifications.
Yes, exactly. We have things like the kosher rating, the Islamic seal of approval, all of those different ratings are there as well. So it's accessible to everybody.
So I know you listed a few reasons why someone should drink aloe vera now, but let's try and list as many as we can because people need to know, I think, all the benefits that it offers.
I always think that when I'm doing my trainings, I always say that aloe vera is your base product. And your base product is where we all start because it's about getting your digestive system in balance. If your digestive system isn't in balance, everything else may be out of balance because part of digestion is absorption. And if your absorption is not the best it can be, then you have to question how many nutrients are you actually absorbing into your body? How many of those nutrients are going to travel around to your 46 trillion cells? So, the key to our business really starts right at the beginning. Get your digestive system in balance. But 70% of your immune system also resides in your gut. And what's really great about aloe, where the magic you might say, is that in those 75 known ingredients, all of those ingredients are the nutrients, the vitamins and minerals, the amino acids, the enzymes, the plant sterols, the salicylic acid, all of those different things. Nature has put them into this plant alongside ace-mannan, which is a really important natural sugar. But altogether, they are your digestive system takes what it needs, and it's the synergy of all of these nutrients working together, but in the right ratio. So the easiest way I try to describe it is if you want to have water, you need to have two hydrogen and one oxygen. If you had one hydrogen and one oxygen, you wouldn't have water. So when you drink aloe, all of these nutrients, the B6, the B12, the calcium, the magnesium, all of the things in there, they are in the right amounts for each other. So our body can go, wow, I've got what I need. I've got all the right, because we have all these chemical reactions in our body all the time. These are from nutrients, you know, and that's where it all starts. So if you're getting your digestive system in balance, then the absorption of the nutrients will be more in balance. And then more of those nutrients from your food, from your aloe, will then get to your hair follicles, will get to your nails, will support your skin, your joints. So what we're trying to say, it's what's in the aloe that supports your body to be the best it can be. As I said, skin, hair, nails, digestive system where it starts, immune system which resides in your gut. Well, yeah, and just this sense of well-being. I think this overall sense of well-being.
So what are some of the benefits of the added vitamin C?
Oh my gosh, vitamin C has so many different roles within the body. So the fact that we have added vitamin C is fabulous. So vitamin C contributes to the reduction of tiredness and fatigue, oxidative stress, psychological function. So that's your mood. Vitamin C also contributes to normal collagen formation for the function of your skin, your bones, your teeth, your blood vessels, and cartilage, so many different things. Have I missed anything
I
out?
think you've got them all there.
Yes, so as you can see, vitamin C is such a great thing to add to all of those nutrients that we get in our aloe vera.
So whilst it's really important to know all the ingredients in our aloe vera drinking gel and other products, it's also just as important to know how to retail them. So Louise, do you have any tips for our listeners of how to retail both the 1 litre and the 330 ml? Let's start with the 1 litre. So how can people retail that?
Okay, you're not going to be able to retail any aloe vera unless you're drinking it yourself. you're not going to be able to retail any aloe vera unless you're drinking enough yourself to recommend people to be drinking enough themselves as well. It doesn't sit right if you're just having a tiny egg cupful and you're recommending people to drink 120 mils a day, for example. So it all starts with you. And one of the things, as I said, that on the side of the litre carton, it says the serving size is 120 mils. So what I do is I always say, if you were to, let's work on that average amount of 120, but remember you can drink more, but we're going to work on that for the average person. So if you drink 120 mils a day, in that litre, that'll give you just over 8 days worth of aloe. Well, to make it very easy for you, the company has actually put a tri-pack together. And the tri-pack means you can get 3 of the drinking gels all together. So if you look at that, that's going to give you about 25 days worth of aloe. Now, I always say, we know it can take 3 weeks for you to change a habit. So it may take 3 weeks for your body to change its habits too. So it's a really great way to start by you drinking enough, and then you can tell your customers exactly that, by getting enough into your body, have a tri-pack. If you're not sure which flavour that you like, there's a tri-pack that comes with the 3 different flavours in there as well. And so, of course, when you actually look at that as a base, as I said, you drink aloe with honesty and integrity, then you can explain to people the benefits of drinking aloe. You tell your story. Tell your story of how you've been feeling the benefits. And also remember, we have a 60-day unconditional money back guarantee. So people can try the products. And if they're not happy in any shape or form, they're entitled to get their money back. So we can't be fairer than that. So that's how I would start with the litre.
Why is it beneficial to have a smaller carton?
Well, the smaller carton, the little mini, is perfect that you can take out and about. I think that is the biggest thing. So if you are going away on holiday, maybe for a weekend, a couple of nights away, then obviously it's so much easier because you don't have to open it and then refrigerate it. And if you got a couple for yourself over a week, well, just drink them both. Also, if you are going to the gym, then of course you can take that with you. You can put some of our other products in there, so it becomes a great product that is transportable, I think.
And we do ask people to refrain from drinking straight from the bottle.
Yeah, exactly. So if you've got your aloe mini, then because that's 330, it makes total sense to try and drink that all in one go. But if you've got the litre and you've got that in your fridge, then the last thing you want to be doing, because there's no preservatives in it, it's just fresh aloe, that if you're drinking out of the carton, then obviously we do know that we do carry bacteria that we find in our mouth and on our skin. So just refrain from drinking it straight from the carton.
So Louise, thank you very much for giving us an in-depth look at Forever Aloe Vera Gel there. One product down, one to go.
Yeah.
So as I said at the start of this podcast, we're focusing on our ARGI Plus as well. So Louise, if anyone hasn't heard of ARGI Plus, could you just introduce that product for us?
Okay, so ARGI Plus comes in a pack where you get 30 little sticks in the pouch, and each of these sticks actually contains 5 grams of L-arginine and also vitamin complex as well as some different fruit extracts. So I want to start off by telling you about L-arginine, because I think that would be the key to start on what this product is all about. So L-arginine is a semi-essential amino acid, and it has so many different roles in the body. But the one that we really want to focus on is the fact that it is known to be a precursor for nitric oxide. So what that means is precursor is where it starts the process, it activates. We have nitric oxide that lines all of our blood vessels. In fact, we have about 60,000 miles of blood vessels. I just want you to imagine that for a moment. All around our body, 60,000 miles. Now, within those blood vessels, we have this nitric oxide. And one of the things that will happen if the nitric oxide amount is increased, or you might say activated, it will actually relax your blood vessels. So I now want you to imagine that your blood vessel is slightly wider. If you imagine the blood vessels are really like the motorway network all the way around the UK, I'm sure you have been stuck on a motorway somewhere and thinking, if only there was another lane on this motorway, then that would help with the flow of traffic. So if you can imagine, if your blood vessel is wider, then the flow is easier. So what do our blood vessels carry? Well, we know that our blood vessels will carry red blood cells, which in their own way, they carry oxygenated blood. But then also we have nutrients which are carried around as well. So when you take 5 grams of L-arginine, that is enough for the effect to happen on the nitric oxide. And I think with that in mind, people need to understand that you have to drink the ARGI Plus in one go. There's no point in just sipping it because your body needs the 5 grams of L-arginine all in one go for it to have an effect as a precursor for nitric oxide. So when you imagine then that you have, well, when to take it, let me just say the different reasons to take it. As a general product, people will take it in the morning, and I've already mentioned our wonderful aloe vera, so why not take one of those sticks of ARGI and mix it in with your aloe, or mix it in with your little your aloe mini, because what you've got there, you've got all of this cocktail of wonderful nutrients from the aloe, and then of course you've got your 5 grams of L-arginine, and we know what L-arginine likes to work with, the nitric oxide. So we start to think of the delivery of nutrients around our body, and all of our cells, our 46 trillion cells, they all need nutrients so they can have energy from our cells. So it's the supportive role of that L-arginine. We also can take it before exercise. So if people are working out in the gym, I think this is important to understand that you wouldn't take one of the ARGI sachets while you're at home, then sit around for an hour and then get in your car and drive to the gym, because actually what happens, the L-arginine, after it has this effect after approximately 10 minutes. So it will reach its half-life of an effect on the nitric oxide, because obviously everything we put in our body will eventually metabolize. It kind of just works its way out, it's burnt up, it's used. And so after approximately an hour, then the nitric oxide levels would have dropped. So of course the blood vessel will not be so wide. So what you can do is you can take it just before you do the exercise. So let's say you're playing football. Okay, do you like to play football?
Do.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So you're playing football, you take one before you go out on the pitch and start warming up. After about 10 minutes, we know kind of the nitric oxide's been, it's activated, you might say. And then the first half is what, 45 minutes? So of course we know it's going to start to reach its half-life. So you'd then probably take another ARGI at half time, because then that's going to give you what you need to keep you going to the end of the match. Now of course, because you're doing football, you are doing aerobic activity. Our muscles need to contract for running around, kicking that ball. So your muscles need to contract aerobically, and there's 2 main things your muscles need: glucose and also oxygen. So we need to have a good supply of glucose and a good supply of oxygen. So you can take one before, during, and what about afterwards, because you've got tired muscles. And because you've got tired muscles, one of the things that we need to get to our tired muscles is oxygen. But then also, because you've been pushing your body to extreme, it's not normal to be running around like that, then you are going to release a lot of free radicals. And free radicals are caused by oxidative stress. So what we need then is we need to give our body a top up of extra goodies. And those extra goodies are what we call antioxidants, and those come from berries. And nature makes it very easy for us to identify berries and fruits that are a good source of antioxidants, and they often have red, blue, and purple skins. So you can take it before, during, and after. And as a final thing, that another role that L-arginine has in the body is that it is known as to help with the response of the human growth hormone. Now, the human growth hormone is released at night time. About 70% of that is released at night, and that's part of the body's recovery. So while you're sleeping, your body is recovering, and the human growth hormone is released at night time. And we know that L-arginine also supports that the release of the human growth hormone. So you can also, if you feel you've overdone things, why not take another ARGI at night time to give your body more L-arginine as well? So you can see how multi-purpose that product is.
So Louise, you mentioned just some of the fruits there that are
Yeah.
included in the ARGI. There are so many other fruits as
Gosh,
well, and
yeah.
added vitamins. I won't expect you to know them all off the top of your head. There are so many of them. Why don't we try and list a few of them now and talk about some of the benefits of them?
Okay, so let's start with some of the fruits. So, the fruits that we have in there are things like pomegranate, we have grapeseed extract.
Cherry juice.
Yeah, you tell them, because we've got so many of them.
Blackberry juice powder, blueberry.
Yeah, and as you can see, most of those have dark red, blue, and purple skins. So that's why they have been added into the sachet as well. But I think the addition of those other vitamins are really important, because, of course, when someone is taking the ARGI, for a lot of people, they like to take it because they are looking for stamina, endurance, and recovery. I think those are the main areas. So when we're pushing our body, what do we need to look after? We need to look after our bones and our joints. We need to look after our muscles. We need to look after our immune system. So we have vitamin C, which is going to contribute to supporting our immune system and the reduction of tiredness and fatigue. We also have vitamin D, which is going to support the normal function of our muscles. We also have vitamin K in there, which is great for calcium levels and blood clotting.
So we also have vitamins B6 and B12,
Yeah.
Louise. So what are some of the benefits to look out for here?
Well, B6 is really important for protein and glycogen metabolism. So glycogen is quite interesting. So glycogen is your store of glucose. So we have glucose that's circulating around in our blood, but then we store glucose. We can store about 2.5 kilos of glycogen, which is glucose stores, in our muscles and our liver. So of course, when we are using our muscles, we are using our supply of glycogen. So the addition of B6 is amazing for that. If we look at B12, B12 has so many different roles in the body, but for this, probably because of the product that we have, it's more to do with supporting our energy yielding metabolism. Because of course, what do we do when we're active? We are using our muscles, we are using our bones, we are getting ourselves tired, we are putting pressure on our immune system. So the whole collection of vitamins that we've added in there is just supporting all the areas that we need. And also, we have folate, which is known as B9, which supports normal psychological function, which is your mood. So, of course, we are talking about stamina. So, the addition of that also is great.
So Louise, I know you've already gone over how to retail this product. You basically told us how important it is if you're active or
Yeah.
you're into sports.
Yeah.
But it's not just for anyone who plays sports, is it? It's for anyone who's on the go. How else can you retail this product?
Well, one of the things that I do every morning is I know that I am having a busy day. So every morning I will take my aloe, I will add my RG sachet to it. I also add some other sachets to that as well. And really, I just feel that I've set myself up for the day. By drinking the aloe, taking the RG. So I really need people to understand you don't have to be going to the gym or being really active. It is a product that you can take with your daily shot of aloe every day. So it's a product that everybody can use. But definitely thinking about your 60,000 miles of blood vessels, and supporting those on a daily basis as well, and the delivery of those nutrients. If you think about it, all your body's been sleeping all night, and then it just needs that kind of bit of an energy delivery. And I just think you've got it all with those two products together.
Okay, so that just about wraps things up. Louise, thank you so much for joining me today. How was it?
Pleasure.
Was it what you expected?
Yeah, it's been good fun.
It may seem like a lot to take in to anyone who's listening. There's so much in-depth product knowledge that you've just shared with us, but I encourage everyone to listen and listen back to it. If it doesn't go in first time, just listen back. It's a great tool. And as I said, Louise has over 20 years of experience, so she is the go-to person for this product knowledge. This month, Forever is focusing on the 330ml and the ARGI Plus. So if you head over to Forever Knowledge, there's a lot more information and tools of how to promote them on your social media and other business tools for you and your team. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you again, Louise.
Pleasure.
Until next time.